Now, hopefully I remember to put it actually in the title, but about the two features. But, hey, honey. Hello. Um, about the two features that I were just was not exactly disappointed, but was hoping that was going to be in 1.0 were number one. Let's talk about the first one. Anyone, get back on the ball. Is turning off your base borders. Turning off base borders. Now, I'm on PlayStation. Let's put any back there. Now, I'm on PlayStation. Or you could say it as any form of controller. When you go up to the PAL box, you have circle for fast travel. And there's three options. Now, base borders. Now, these typically are not an issue. These are very helpful, showing the borders of what land you have claimed. However, they can be an eyesore depending on what you're building. In this case, this. Now, the majority of you might think this building looks like ass on the inside, but regardless of that, it doesn't help that I got a base border clipping through this. Now, I need some wood. Come here. Excuse my terrible tree mining. Now, when you're building outside your base, you get this pop-up. Outside of base area, structures outside of base area will deteriorate. But these walls right here in this foundation are not outside the base because the point of where you place them is not. Because as you see when you're building a foundation, as you can see, when I place it about here, which is where my cursor is, the central point of it, even though half of it is outside the base, it's technically not outside the base because the pop wasn't there. So this won't deteriorate. But if I was to build on that, I would have a base border clicking through my home or whatever you choose to build. So this is not outside the base. These will not just deteriorate and randomly just be destroyed. But I love stick drift. But it can make the inside of your house look ugly because you got this bright blue base border clipping through. Now going back to what I said about controller, because for PC this one, because you can just map it to a button. But for console, you only get these three. For PlayStation, or for any controller, even on PC, you get these three options. However, that one right there, fast travel, is useless. Because maybe some of you don't know this, as long as you're within the borders of your base, you can just fast travel. As you can see, I'm far away from the PAL box, but I'm inside my base border. So if I just go to the map menu and press on anything, I can fast travel. See? I can fast travel. And I'm nowhere near the PAL box, and I did not press circle on the PAL box. So, I don't think it'd be hard. Just replace the option of fast traveling from the PAL box itself and replace it with a hide base borders button. Again, I'm no dev, so I don't know how hard that'd be to do. But I wouldn't imagine it to be hard, just turning off a blue line when the option is there. I could just imagine the coding being finicky, and when you turn off the base borders, stuff will start deteriorating because for some reason, because the base borders aren't there, it means there's no base. I don't know. There's no form of coding problem I think it would be there. Now the second one is a personal thing, but for some people who actually build their bases with a warm home, that feels warm to them could be a problem. Now, to explain it, okay, everyone has their most. Okay, so starting from the beginning as to why. Okay, I want to be able. I wanted to be able to assign a specific pal to a specific bed. That's a weird one. Now let me fully explain. Now, everyone has their most favorite pals for whatever reason. And sometimes they're arguably one of the worst pals in the game. Like my fire boy down here. This Fox Barks. When I first had the game, and I first caught one, this little fire boy was always there. Is he the best pal? No. But to me, the moment I saw him, my heart melted. Everyone has those kind of pals. The moment you see one, regardless if they're terrible, then Fox Barks, sure. Once you first start your world, you need a Fox Barks. So that's why he's always there. But I always had one in my party. One was always there. He was in my party. Everyone has that kind of pal, right? Everyone has the pal that has been there by their side, period. Now, come here, Fox Barks. Now, about assigning pal to a specific bed. When someone has their most favorite pals, they want them close to them at all times. Up here in my little room, you saw that I had 2 beds up here. I wanted to be able to assign the beds. Because you can throw a pal at a bed and they will sleep in it. But that bed is not assigned to Fox Parks. So meaning, once he gets up and nighttime hits, other pals will take that bed. Which is not what I want. And this is my room where I do actually, when I want to actually skip the night, I do sleep in my own room. Or sleep in my bed. But to me, I want to be able to actually, when my character wakes up, I want to see Fox Parks and whoever is going to sleep in that one be there. I have 3 of them that I would want in that, so, 3 favorites, hard to pick. But the idea is that because they're your most favorite pals, and you want them by your side at all time, even the ones that are at your base, you want them sleeping right there so that when you wake up, they are right there. And you can pet them the first thing in the morning instead of having to search your entire base borders just to pet your precious little fox in the morning or whatever it may be. I know it's a weird one, but I hope I explained it decently. Point being, everyone has their most favorite pals that have been by their side every moment, no matter what. Even if they're not the best pals late game or World Tree late game. But because they've always been by your side, you always want one either on you or at least in your base. And you want them next to you at all times. So, I wanted to be able to assign to a pal a specific bed so that when I sleep in my own bed here, they are right there. Yes, you can just sleep in your bed with them, but still. I do understand that you can actually just go up to a pal bed and sleep with them, but maybe you want to sleep in your own cozy bed. Maybe you want to sleep in your own. Who knows? I hope. Again, the first thing that I talked about, which is removing the base borders, that one is probably universal. Some people who do actually enjoy building a comfortable base, comfortable home, probably hate having their base borders just clipped through their house. That one, I would imagine some people can actually find an issue. The second one is more of a personal thing that doesn't need to be added, but would be nice to have my 2 most favorite pals sleep in these beds. And even if I don't sleep here, having their own assigned beds so I know where they sleep. So when because sometimes you do want to actually sleep with your pals, having to find which bed they're in, because since mine, I have the sleeping quarters over there for some of them, and then I have multitude at my house. you know, like, yeah. You want to be able to sleep with them, but you don't want to go searching for them. You want to know where they sleep so you can just walk up to the bed and sleep with them. Or maybe you don't like seeing... Where is she? Or maybe you don't like seeing one of these absolutely massive pals, like Baby over here, like Babe over here, in a tiny-ass pal bed. Maybe you don't like seeing a massive pal. I get she's floating, but her size compared to the bed is a no. I mean, when I take our precious little ice noodle, I don't want the lamp. When I take our precious little ice noodle over here, and he sleeps in this tiny-ass bed, fucker doesn't fit on the bed. So maybe you want to assign specific pals to specific beds. Because some people, they're not going to build so many of these big-ass beds because they take up so much room. Of course, if you're building a efficient base, mine are never efficient, then you will build those, and you will have a better layout than... I do have a work camp. Some people question why there's no working stations here. It's because I have a work camp. That's not too far away from home. Anyway. So, maybe you want to sign, like, maybe Chillit, or... I'm not pronouncing her name, because I know for a fact I pronounced her name wrong, but that's how I pronounced it. So I'm like, but the wrong way is how I've always said it, so I'm going to keep saying it wrong. But, again, maybe you want to assign a big-ass pal to one of the big beds, because it looks more correct. Because, again, when you assign a big-ass pal to this tiny bed, doesn't... Because, again, Chillit, you don't fucking fit on there. Why do you not choose big bed? There's enough beds for all the big ones. Actually, there's more than enough. There's like two. There's like one in there, and then 4 in here. So I hope both of these things make sense to add for some people. Oh, and just to clear something up, some of you guys are. Just so you guys do actually know, none of these pals here work. None of them work. None of them work. They do. The only ones that work are the ones that water, but they rarely do. And then, I don't know why I chill that stuff for that. I don't use any of those skills. And then they all do handiwork. The only one who actually works is the Observer to keep the power out. But I don't constantly use the egg incubators. Because I'm out and exploring, I don't have many eggs. I'm waiting for, obviously, whatever my breeding base has to hatch eggs. The only one... But, you obviously see fishing ponds here. I don't choose who works here. Whoever wants to work in a fishing pond gets to work. Like, no one specifically is on, like, sometimes Catras takes that fishing pond, sometimes Tantras takes that fishing pond, sometimes Lunaris here takes this pond. Like, nobody is forced to fish. If they want to fish in a specific spot, they can fish. But if they don't want to fish, they don't have to fish. Plain and simple.